So why don't we take the issue of water scarcity more seriously, people? Here in the US, people believe that water will always be around, and
The Palestinian villagers are not granting permits to build water cisterns and are allocated 4 times less water from the West Bank mountain than the Israelis.
And groundwater, water that saturates soil and sand underneath the ground.
We're not trying to provide a global solution, we're trying to bring a solution to the middle of remote areas and to those who are interested.
That's right, we're back again. Hi there, I'm Darren Howard.
I'm Robert Nisbet.
I'm Monica Salmer.
It's too much fun today because we have solutions. And of course, what happens in the studio stays in the studio.
I'm not wearing pants.
Oh no! Wait a second. Don't visualize 3 naked people standing here talking about truth, justice, and the Canadian way.
Oh, no. Cannot be unseen.
No, we're sitting down, actually.
Let's talk about water.
by 2030, a glass of water like this one might cost you something like this. And while that might seem like an exaggeration now, we really don't know what the future of water will be, especially when the threat of severe water scarcity is expected globally within the next 2 decades. According to the National Academy's Water Information Center, about 70% of the world's surface is water, but less than 1% of it is drinkable, represented by that tiny dot over the United States. Now, you can turn salt water into drinking water through a process called desalination, making it seem like a simple solution, but it is actually a time-consuming, costly process that can also have negative impacts on the environment. So why don't we take the issue of water scarcity more seriously, people? Here in the US, people believe that water will always be around, and that might be because even in places like Las Vegas, a desert environment where human life isn't logically sustainable, have the money to bring in water from elsewhere. Now compare that to this map from the World Health Organization. It identifies areas like Ethiopia, Somalia, and Western Sahara, where fewer than 25% of the population had access to clean drinking water as of 2002. Back in 1999, the UN Development Program said that fighting over resources as the scarcity of water over the next 25 years will possibly be the leading reason for conflicts in Africa, not oil. So, are we on the brink of a water war? The saying goes, water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. According to former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, speaking on the topic of water scarcity, these threats are real and they do raise national security concerns. And the risk of water wars only increases as water becomes scarce, making a simple bottle of water like this one a lot more expensive in the future. In Washington, D.C., Gavino Garay, RT.
Yes, indeed, we are starting to take a look at Desani. We're going to take a look at water wars around the world, and we're going to talk about the things mainstream media will not talk about.
And we also have to look at how the extractive industries use vast volumes of water to use to get their products.
Can you say oil industry?
Can you say mining? Can you say fracking?
Yes.
No fracking, wait.
So we're going to run some stories. This one is going to shock you.
A large solidarity walk was organised in the Jordan Valleys between Palestinian communities for World Water Day. The walk was organised by the Freedom Theatre from Jenin, alongside the Jordan Valley Solidarity Campaign Group, in order to bring awareness to the international community about Palestinian villagers and farmers whose water rights are denied by Israel's discriminatory practices and denying Palestinians water rights. The activists hiked through Palestinian Bedouin villages, including Al-Hadidiyah, where the Bedouin communities suffer severe water shortages, alongside a water well near the illegal Israeli settlement Ra'i, where the Israeli settlers benefit from up to 7 times the amount of water than Palestinians. One of the organisers explained to Press TV why they organised the event.
As a way to empower society and a way to resist, especially for the Palestinian people. So we thought about the idea, we're not going to wait to the people to come to the theater or to see art and music. Especially there's a lot of people that can do that, and you see the situation. So we decided to go for them. So we decided to create this bus and go follow the people in their homelands.
Due to the Jordan Valleys being located in Area C, which is under full Israeli administration, the Palestinian villagers are not granting permits to build water cisterns and are allocated 4 times less water from the West Bank mountain than the Israelis. If they do build tanks to collect rainwater, they are often demolished by the Israeli army. This makes traditional life for the Bedouins difficult, as they have little water to maintain agriculture or feed their herds. Although these type of events seem very strange and in juxtaposition to this kind of land, it's actually the message they're sending out to these Bedouin communities that are the most important, including the severe water shortages they're facing. Nell Burden, Press TV, occupied Jordan Valley.
So there's a story you'll never see on mainstream media.
I wonder if President Obama, when he was receiving the Israeli Medal of Distinction, was aware of this situation.
Yeah. Also, the fact last year they were protesting high grocery prices and high rent prices in Israel. It was so bad there that one of the protesters lit himself on fire. Okay? And that was for real. Not a word about this in major media.
No.
Okay, and I mean, in Israel, they're protesting high water prices. For real. Now, take a look at Dasani, which adds carcinogens to your water. This is Coca-Cola.
Why do they do that?
I don't know, but look on it. Sodium chloride, okay, or not sodium chloride, but carcinogen. They're profiteering off of water sales. This is causing problems in Africa because it costs 16 cents to produce a bottle of water, but they charge $2 for it. Mm-hmm. This is Coca-Cola.
Well, and I was aware of some of this watching that movie Flow,
yes.
of how it's actually corporations taking over local water harvesting techniques.
Yes.
And taking it away from the actual people. Now they're charging those people for the water they would naturally collect.
And then what was the messed up story? Charging people for collecting rainwater.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, because, that's illegal.
It's
because
illegal
it belongs
to collect.
To the corporations?
That's right. In the United States right now, there are guys who have been charged with theft from corporations for collecting rainwater. And there was a case of a guy at a car lot in the States collected rainwater to wash his cars and got a fine from city council.
Yeah.
That sounds as weird as the whole Monsanto bill that just got snuck through.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Monsanto Protection Act in the next segment.
Okay, so let's run this about Canada's drinking water or air
I think we should
water.
start talking about solutions.
Okay, so let's get a solution going. I love this show.
I love solutions.
It's a question you've heard before, but do you really know where your drinking water comes from? It's not just a tap, or a well, or a big tank. It's here if you're in Vancouver, or here if you're in Yellowknife, or here if you live in Moncton. This is source water. The name says it all. It's where your drinking water comes from, and there are two types. Surface water, which collects above ground in lakes, rivers, and streams, and groundwater, water that saturates soil and sand underneath the ground. It's then pumped through treatment facilities and into your home as water for drinking, cooking, and bathing. We depend on clean source water every day for survival and play. The bad news is that as much as humans depend on water, we also pollute it. Fertilizers from farms and other industrial runoff soak through the soil into groundwater. Pharmaceuticals and toxins flushed down the toilet flow straight into lakes. Even water that might look clean can be laden with deadly bacteria. But hey, if there's a way to clean it, why worry? Many pollutants like industrial chemicals are expensive or impossible to remove by filtration. In smaller, rural communities, a lot of people get their water straight from a well, meaning it's never treated. And it's not just humans that need access to clean source water. So relying on water treatment facilities to clean up our mess isn't enough. What can you do? Here are a few simple actions that help prevent water from getting dirty in the first place. Ditch your drugs properly. Safely dispose of your unused pharmaceuticals by returning them to a drugstore. Keep your yard natural. Fertilizers, pesticides, and herbicides used in typical lawn care products can have serious water quality impacts. Use non-toxic cleaning and hygiene products in your home and dispose of potentially toxic products with care. Our governments have the biggest responsibility to protect source water. How? By identifying threats, restricting industrial activities in certain areas, and promoting awareness around source water protection. Keeping source water clean is part of a multi-barrier approach to protecting ourselves in several ways, not just one. In the time it takes you to fill a glass, you can call on our government to protect what's in it. Sign this petition now in support of safer drinking water for all Canadians.
Okay, I think we forgot to say it's World Water Day is what we're
Well, we're talking about solutions, and World Water Day was last Friday.
That's right. Okay. It was pretty important. World Water Day is pretty important stuff in the big scheme of things. Of course, that fell on Earth Hour, too.
Yeah.
Okay, and I read this phenomenally bad editorial about how Earth Hour wouldn't make any difference anyways. And that was from the Capital News.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, talking about guys with their heads in the wrong space, right? Okay, probably rectally anyways.
But there are things that people can do to conserve water, and it doesn't really come down to the individual choice, but don't buy bottled water, for one thing.
Yes, and if you're a woman, never leave bottled water in the sunshine. It releases toxic carcinogens, and they found those carcinogens in tumors within breast cancer.
You bet.
Across the nation. So,
but the huge amount of waste is coming from from industry.
Okay.
Especially the extractive industries, and it's just crazy how much water gets wasted to get fuel.
And so please get informed, okay? What was it called, Flow?
Yes, the movie's called Flow.
Okay, and where'd you see that?
You know what? I got that from the used bookstore down in Penticton.
Really?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
it's
So this is an
available on
older
YouTube.
movie.
It's available on YouTube, and so is Blue Gold World Water Wars.
Oh, I know. Blue Gold is messed up. Same statistics that are in there as we saw on the clip here. I want to run this one real quick.
Another solution.
Okay, so, here we go.
Ten years ago, during a trip to his remote holiday home in the Antilles, Mark Parent began to think about simple ways to generate drinking water and the fact that the Earth's second largest water reserve is in the air.
I focused on salvaging water from air conditioning systems to inject into a tank, and that, one could say, was the seed of the idea for conserving water in the air to serve home appliances, such as the shower or washing machine.
Mark Parent is the proud inventor of windmills that produce water. The process is simple and mimics how rain is created. The wind turbine sucks in air. The electricity generated is used to cool the air down, transforming the steam into water. Mark and his team are focusing on its use in isolated areas and for humanitarian organizations.
We're not trying to provide a global solution, we're trying to bring a solution to the middle of remote areas and to those who are interested in taking a step towards intelligent water management. Water is difficult to extract, and so that means using the water extracted from the air sparingly.
One of their 15-meter wind turbines is easily installed within an hour and can produce 800 litres of water a day. They are expensive though, between 9 to 25,000 euros depending on the model, and the system isn't being used industrially yet. But with the eco-town of Nisbet and the United Arab Emirates said to be interested, Mark expects to find a buyer very soon.
Put that under amazing but true.
Isn't that cool?
I mean, and that's one of the reasons why I love working around here.
Talk about using technology for good.
Yes. Okay.
Finally.
Woo! Of course. Next time you see it, I mentioned Dasani, I mentioned Coca-Cola, the fact that they, jack their prices up. It takes 16 glasses of water to produce one Coca-Cola.
Oh, that's crazy.
Okay. And, 16 tablespoons of sugar. But
which
also,
dehydrates you.
they will sell the Coca-Cola for $1 for a bottle and sell the water next to it for $2.
Yeah.
Nice.
Do the math. Mm-hmm. We're getting screwed by fascism, and it's brought to us by Coca-Cola, the guys who brought you Santa Claus.
Oh, but I thought we lived in a democracy.
No,
it's a monotheistic democracy that worships money.
Yes.
Actually, I think it's more a plutocracy, but...
It's amazing. That's what it is. We've got solutions, and I'm telling you, we got so many to go here. Please stay tuned. Get informed of what's going on. I'm Darren Howard.
I'm Robert Nisbet.
I'm Monica Solmar.
It's so good to have you along. Check out the graphics. Coming up next, we got some cool stuff. Thanks for joining us. You are the solution. Just keep smiling while you do it, because we make it look good.
And we're having fun.
Shine.